We turn to Sri Lanka now, a country that has come up with a new austerity measure, a new plan to save money. What is the plan? Stop offering government jobs. You heard that right. The government of Sri Lanka is freezing hiring. And this nudge came from the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Earlier, the body had asked Sri Lanka to cut down its government jobs. The government of President Ranil Wickremesinghe obliged. One, it decided to reduce the retirement age. Previously, a government employee would retire at the age of 65. Now it's 60. And as a result, some 20,000 Lankan civil servants retired in December. That's 8 times more than the previous year. 8 times more. It's a record number, one that Lankans are not proud of. But it is the need of the hour. Sri Lanka needs an IMF bailout of $2.9 billion. And IMF needs an assurance from Colombo that Sri Lanka can achieve debt sustainability. And so, Lanka has revised the taxes, almost doubled the income tax, doubled the corporate tax, also made electricity dearer. Guess by how much? 65%. And now it is freezing government recruitment. Like all of you already know, 2022 was a rather testing year for Sri Lanka. The country was thrown into the depths of an economic crisis, courtesy years of mismanagement, corruption, flawed policy. In 2022, Sri Lanka ran out of sufficient foreign reserves. There was a budget deficit. Colombo lost access to the capital markets. It went on to default on debt as well. The economy collapsed. The country ran out of food, fuel, essential medicines. The pandemic only made matters worse. Protests erupted. The protesters chanted, "Gotta go home." And then President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was forced to flee Sri Lanka. Reports say the ousted president has applied for US citizenship. Now, I don't know how many of you know this, but Gotabaya was once a US citizen. Here's a quick flashback. Before entering politics, Gotabaya was in the Sri Lankan army. He took early retirement. And in 1998, he moved to the US. In 2005, Gotabaya returned to Sri Lanka and eventually had to give up his American passport. And why is that? Because in Sri Lanka, a dual citizenship holder cannot contest elections. In 2019, Gotabaya was running for office. 3 years later, he is running pillar to post for a safe haven. In July last year, Gotabaya fled Sri Lanka and landed in the Maldives. But Mali did not give him asylum. Gotabaya then traveled to Singapore. And there as well, he wasn't given asylum. Next, Gotabaya went to Thailand. By the 2nd of September, the ousted president was back home in Sri Lanka. And reports say he has now turned to the US. In fact, that is where he is at the moment. On the 27th of December, Gotabaya left for the US via Dubai. He was accompanied by his wife, son, daughter-in-law, and grandchild. The family boarded an Emirates flight in the wee hours, and he is now hoping that the US restores his citizenship. Gotabaya reportedly initiated the paperwork in August 2022. Reports say Washington is yet to consider Gotabaya's request. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.